This is getting really frustrating for me, though. I mean, I've got to work out. We've got to get somebody to go there because it's so important. Well, listen. Oh my gosh! Somebody just came into my office, and I think I know who it is. Goodbye. Oh, St. Eugene, how are you? Oh my gosh, it's so good to see you. Another appearance from you. May I call you Eugene?
No.
I'm sorry.
That's
sorry.
all right.
Yes.
It's Father, starts with an L. Don't tell me.
Yes, Lewis.
Father
Yes,
Lewis.
yes. And Studer. Studer's the last name. U.S. Province.
Good
Yeah,
to see
I've been
you.
provincial now a year and a half.
You know, I'm here to help you. Looks like you're running away, Father Provincial.
Well, I have to visit an oblate who doesn't want to go to a ministry that we're trying to assign him to, and he doesn't want to go because he doesn't want to live with one of the oblates in that community. Very disturbing, so that's why I'm leaving.
Well, you know, I am here to listen, Father Studer. I found that it was very helpful when I talked to Father Tompier about my problems.
Okay. Well, if you could give me some advice, after all, you are our great saint and founder.
Well, I suggest that you think of rule number 38.
38.
You did not know there would be a quiz, did you?
Rule 38.
Fraternal interdependence. Now, I am not going to give you the answers, but in my experience, if you talk about a problem out loud, you often come to a very good solution.
I know, St. Eugene, I know I can benefit a lot from your help. But see, the problem is that a lot of our houses are just that. They're houses. They're not communities where our men live together, support each other, pray for and with each other, so it can be very frustrating. Why did you put such an emphasis on community?
Well, maybe it was because it was lacking in my own family. You know, life was fine before I was 8, but then it became so chaotic. The moving, not knowing if my parents would be together, the bickering. I did not know how to deal with the constant fear. But then, through Father Zanelli's friendship, I experienced structure and stability.
But it seems some of our oblates don't even have that in their past experience before they come to oblate community.
True, we each have our own past, which influences our decisions. But my son, may we keep the best of the past and ask God to help us let go of those things in our past which no longer help our decisions.
Well, I don't know if I want to get into that right now.
Well, very well. Tell me your situation.
As we get smaller as a province, as there are fewer men, we're asking many of them to move into community, whereas they have been living more or less as bachelors. And they find that very hard to do. They do great work, they're sensitive to people, but living with each other, getting to know each other, being sensitive to each other is a real challenge that we face. And I really want to encourage them to practice that charity, charity, charity about which you spoke.
Well, you know, I had to remind Father Arnaud in England that our congregation is not a republic. It is not even a representative government. Sometimes it is as if they have forgotten the vow of obedience, huh? That brings to mind Father Telmont, a 40-year-old. A man of much talent and zeal, but with a lack of restraint. I put him in charge of the Pittsburgh mission. He protested on the grounds that he did not know English. Well, our missionaries were sent all over the world, and not one knew the language of the people he was going to evangelize. They set out with courage, and they succeeded. You know why?
Well, maybe they were afraid to say no to you, St. Eugene?
No! Well, yes, maybe a little bit, of course, but, you know, the important thing is they counted on discernment and divine providence. Now, recall our father Talmont. He was always disagreeable with his complaints and displeasure. We confided to him the mission at Pittsburgh. 6 months later, in my letter to Father Talmont, I told him that I was confident that with his resourcefulness, he would surmount the serious difficulties he had encountered. But when Father Talmont received my letter on June 1st, 1849, he was no longer at Pittsburgh. This Father Talmont takes off for a mission in Texas and takes with him some members of his choice. Harder still to take was that Father Talmont never tried to repair the conduct by asking me for a post factum authorization. Oh, no. According to them, I was wrong to be disturbed. They were only doing their duty perfectly.
Well, I don't really think we have anyone doing that, at least that I'm aware of. But I think the guys do tend to isolate themselves. They get so involved in the ministry that they're doing that they forget about the people they're living with and trying to be sensitive to the ones that they're living with and care more deeply for them. They find it difficult to live those words that you said so often: charity, charity, charity among yourselves.
Yes, but I know that you have men who are conscientious and work hard to live our vows of chastity, poverty, obedience, and perseverance. They continue to be the Father Tompiers and Brother Mars.
Brother Mar?
Oh, yes, Brother Mar. He had been a Trappist, and he was a man of foresight and meticulous habits, gentle as a lamb, and able to turn his hand to anything, and never waste a minute. When I first set out to begin a community, Brother Mar was my choice to help with the household at the very start of this dream of community.
St. Eugene, your example reminds me that perhaps we've put way too much emphasis on doing. Our guys do great work. They're sensitive to the people. They allow the lay people to take leadership roles. They're very good. Living in community is the real challenge I face. Getting to know each other, caring for each other, being sensitive to each other. That's where I think we're really lacking in our province. I need to emphasize being together more with them, with these good men.
Yes, indeed they are. You know, I never say that you must love each other. I say that you must take care of each other, watch out for each other, and especially to be careful to watch over each other's health.
Your advice is good, St. Eugene, and I need to pray for them more, especially invoking the patronage, intercession of our Blessed Mother. Perhaps a memorare for them each day would be good for me to do.
So, you see, I told you that when you talk things out, why, you come to good solutions, huh?
You are right. It's always enjoyable and helpful to me to have a visit from you.
Now, Father Provincial, what about your health?
Well, I think my health is pretty good. I do enjoy good food. I should lose a little weight. And I know I certainly need to exercise more. In fact, I think I'll go for a walk right now.
I think that's a good idea. I will go with you. What do you say?
That would be just great.
Very well. Let's go.
And I certainly can profit more from your advice.
Yes, you can.